We have just been joined by Barrister Uche Maduemesi, a legal practitioner, to discuss reps seeking conduct of presidential Guber polls, others same day. Thank you for joining us, Barrister Maduemesi.
Hello, good
Among
evening.
39 constitution alteration bills passed by the House of Representatives, which has seen second reading since yesterday's plenary, a particular bill caught our attention, seeking conduct of presidential gubernatorial polls and others simultaneously. And I'm asking, are we ready? Are we really prepared?
Well, thank you very much. When I saw that in the news, I was like, I said, the House of Reps members that they were firing on all cylinders. But again, we have to ask a very pertinent question. Are we prepared, like you just asked? Do we have the logistics? Can INEC cope? But again, what could be the reason for that? Could it be the way to save funds for Nigeria? Because we know we've been several monies, huge sums of money have been spent, on conducting elections. Could it be a sign of good things to come? So many questions. Then we now have to ask the members: were they being altruistic, or just a situation? Maybe they want to use it also to feather their own necks. So we have lots and lots of questions, but we really have to start taking them one by one. One, you asked, are we ready? We have to find out whether INEC has the capacity to conduct all those elections in one fell swoop. If you ask me, I will say yes. Yes, in the sense that they will simply have all the ballot boxes place with the ballot papers so that people with thumbprint cast their vote and put in the respective ballot boxes. It will cut down on huge sums of money being spent on repeated elections, having one this weekend, another next weekend, and all the rest. If we do all of them in one day, it will be better. It will save us all the resources, all the financial hemorrhage this country has been suffering. So that is my take on it for now.
All right, Barrister. Quite a number of school of thoughts argue that the illiterate electorate, like we can find in the rural areas, might get confused to the point that they may vote against their choices, or if given many ballot papers at the same time, which conducting simultaneous elections will pose. What are your thoughts on this?
I don't think so. That's a very lame excuse to give. People, there are even provision whereby if one is given maybe 1, 2, 3 ballot papers and you need assistance, you can seek for assistance. So anybody talking about the literacy level that people might get confused, it is not true. What we have been seeing, my worry is that these politicians and political parties who are already in power, they may not allow this bill to sail through. My reason is this. Because we have seen in this country where each time we normally have the presidential election first, you will notice that it determines whatever happens down the line. But if all the elections are held the same day, I do not think it will be possible for them to now start to have like a bandwagon effect. Somebody trying to control what will be the outcome of subsequent elections. So the issue of literacy level, no, they can cope. We have always been copied. But the point is, those people who are in power, will they allow that? Because definitely it will work against their interest. That is my take. That's my feeling. It will work against their interest. Because that same day, if all the ballots are cast same day, they will just be announcing this, that. There won't be any issue. Nobody will now. There won't be any plan B. For anybody trying now, maybe start talking to the electorate, you better vote in line with the party that's already won the presidential election, so that you belong to the center and all those crap. No. So that's my feeling. Nothing. We are literate enough to know which ballot is for House of Reps, which one is for the Senate, which one is for the presidential election. Let nobody tell us that one. The literacy level, no.
Well, so that we can get a better picture of you. Now, you just mentioned the bandwagon effect. That was evident during the 2023 general elections, where people had to vote across party line, not minding who is contesting for what. I want to believe it is basically based on the level of literacy, or would you say otherwise? Why would people just cast their vote to the same party, not minding who is contesting for what, if you think the bandwagon effect will not come into play with this bill if it becomes a law?
Let me say this honestly. Nigeria, our level, the literacy level now has gone to the point that now people vote for individuals. If they look at you and feel you have the capacity to deliver, they vote for you regardless of the political party. See what happened during the 2023 presidential election. They want P2B.
Yes, Barrister Maduemesi, we saw people voting for the same party, not necessarily individuals. It was what happened, really. Accounts are bound to that effect.
But let me say, no. See, during the last general election, there was this groundswell of opinion, people tilting towards a particular party. I don't know if you allow me to say it, Labour Party. But then it dawned on people that all the parties we've been having, the PDP, the APC, they've never delivered. So there was that inkling. People tilted towards that Labour Party because of the presidential candidate. We are now making
Kindly place your phone well, better. Change your position, please.
Okay. You are not hearing me?
I can hear you, but your picture is not what we would have wanted.
Oh, my dear. Is it better now?
Okay.
Is it better now?
Okay, it's okay now. Okay. Go ahead, sir.
Yes, so I was saying that people, there was a change. There was a change in mindset of people. And it was the very first time things really went the way most, maybe the politicians never thought of. And it was something that really opened the eyes of everyone. So if they come up with this bill now, my fear is that people in power might not allow it. Just let me say this, because there are so many people working against so many interests. Because now, after they will have to do what's it called? They have to interface with the people. They have to interface with the people, not only what they say in the house. They have to come and conduct how do I put it? Meetings with the people where they will now feel the pulse of the people. By the time they start feeling the pulse of the people, my feeling is that at that point, people who are against that bill will not allow it to sail through. But again, by the time we start being selfless in what we are doing, that is when the country will be better. because we have issues now. Because even the same time they were talking about judges, dealing with corrupt judges, they also, ascribing certain roles to the NBA. They also talked about, yes, we've talked about elections the same day. They also talked about which were, there are so many issues they raised, which if they allow those things to go the whole of, it will upstage a lot of things. But again, don't forget, whatever they are going to do, there will be a concurrency from the Senate. The Senate will now come up to know whether are they in line with what these other people are. It's only when the two houses, the two chambers, if they are in sync, that is when such things will pass. But when
But given
they are not,
given
I
the
doubt if
body
it will.
language of this Senate, do you think they will go in line with what Reps
They will not.
is
They
proposing?
will not. That's where the problem. That's where the problem is. The Senate is where the problem is. Here we have a bunch of people you can't vouch for. Here we have a bunch of people we say that they are not representing the interest of the people. They will not. They will now put. They will now calculate to know whether if they allow this thing to go one day, will it serve their interest? Don't forget, lots and lots of them we are sorry, I don't know. Let me not say what I wanted to say. But they won't. Let me answer you pointedly. This Senate we have now may not. They may not do the wish of the people because they have to now x-ray to know whether it is in their interest. If it is not, they won't allow it to say. But don't forget, House of Reps has always been noted to be a robust chamber, whereby you see people of divergent interests where they will express themselves. And before you see a situation where everyone now railroaded into one line of argument, it will be so difficult. But the problem has always been the leadership. Because when they are already decided on something, and once they say the eyes have it and drop the gavel, there's nothing anyone can do. Because most of the things they are doing, they are not following the constitutional provisions. Because if a situation where you now say people should vote and you require two-third majority, where you now say voting according to members, but they don't follow it. See, you can see what happened at the Senate. Even the House of Reps is the same when they were talking about River State issue. So they are not following it. They are not following what they're supposed. So the expectations of Nigerians, they are failing us by the day. Even when all these things came up, a lot of people thought, maybe solution will come. But again, going by the way Nigeria is going, that solution will be hard coming because they will eventually kill that idea, kill the motive, skew it in such a way that it will now serve their interests and not the interests of the masses.
All right, Barrister Maduemesi, I don't know if you think that staggered elections will now guarantee free and fair elections?
Until the people in government leave the judiciary alone, until the people in government leave INEC alone, then we can guarantee a better election. But if there's still that stranglehold on the judiciary, stranglehold on INEC, we can't, because it will still be the same thing. They'll be doing their bidding. They'll be doing their bidding. During the last general election, if INEC had done what they were supposed to do, if they had insisted on doing what, the guidelines, governing the election, we wouldn't have been having all this problem we are having. Because lots of people who were not qualified to contest elections, they closed their eyes, they didn't say anything, and they continued. So until we have an independent electoral body, so to speak, we'll be having all these issues. So I don't think it will work. It will not work until we have independent judiciary and independent electoral body.
Now, weighing the merits and as against the demerits, I don't know if you think there are demerits really. Are there?
The merits in what? Is it like having all the elections in one day?
Yes.
Well, I have just said I've talked about the merits. One principal one is that it will save us some funds. Then the demerit, we will be trying to ask INEC, do they have the capacity to do all of them the same day? If they have the capacity to do all of them the same day, then it's okay. It's okay. But to me, it will curb the financial hemorrhage which we are passing through. Doing it the same day, it will not enable these political parties and politicians to perfect their rigging, so that before everything is all over. But it's by the time you do this week, then the other week, that's when the election results, online through IRA audit. That very first election passed. The second week, they perfected it, and that was when we started hearing all manner of things. So election one day will help us solve some of these. They may not be in a position to perfect their rigging machine. That is one. They won't perfect it. It will save us a lot of funds. And even all this, like somebody, if you are contesting for Senate, I'm contesting for House of Reps, I'll be talking about how to deliver my own. Then you have to be involved in how to deliver your own. So there will not be any synergy between you and me. But it's only when maybe after the first election, they will now say, the president sweep everything. They will now decide. Even the electoral body, we find it even difficult to be independent, so to speak, because you see them pandering towards the winner of the presidential election. But if it is one day, as you are counting this result, you are counting presidential, you are counting House of Reps, you are counting senatorial, there won't be any need, or there won't be even any, it will not be possible trying to rig. That is my take. So the merit to me is more. The merit is more than the demerit. It's more. It will save us funds. There won't be any need. They can't
Okay,
perfect all this.
now
They are
you
rigging.
said that the merits are outweigh the demerits, but
Yes,
does it now
yes, simple.
suggest that staggered election will determine or will ensure that we have free and fair elections? Is that what will work for us?
Yes, it would have given us the result we needed. But like I said, until we have an independent electoral body and an independent judiciary, it will still be the same old story. Whether you stagger it, whatever. Now they are talking about how to take over Anambra. They are talking. You see what happened in Edo. You see what happened in the other state. They were all staggered. The elections were not held the same day. But you see the party in power. What happened? And I mean, everybody is hoping that Anambra will not go the same way. So until we have independent bodies, the judiciary, the electoral body, and whatever, whether staggered or not, it will still be the same old story.
When you referred to INEC having the capacity or not, it calls to mind what happened in 2015, after the 2015 election, when Jega held sway as the chairman of INEC. And he said that he was proposing at the time that we conduct all elections simultaneously. So if he didn't see that INEC was capable, do you think he would be proposing that as of 2015, about a decade now?
Initially when I was starting, when I asked the question whether they have the capacity to do it the same day, I followed up and answered yes, that they have, because it's the same manpower they will use in one day. It's the same manpower they will use to conduct an election that will that will be maybe for presidential, House of Reps, or Senate. It's the same. It's the same people in the polling booth. All the additional thing will be additional ballot papers and the additional ballot boxes. It's the same people. There won't be any need to even employ more people. So that's what I said. Whether they have the capacity, they can do it. They can. Like you said, when Jega even mooted the idea and suggested that it would have been better we do all elections in one day. Yes, they can do it. They can. I keep saying it because the personnel cost, there won't be anything more than what's already established on the ground, because the same number of people in a polling booth are the same number of people that will now count the ballots cast. The only difference will be additional ballot papers and additional ballot boxes. They can do it. Yes, they can.
All right, thank you very much. Hoping that this scales and passes through the Senate, hopefully, so that we can join the rest of the world to observe this international best practices, global practice of conducting all election on the same day. Thank you, Barrister Uche Maduemesi, for joining us.
Save Nature TV. News in your pocket.